What if I told you that the most feared warriors in history never raised their voices? That the deadliest weapon you possess isn't your fists, your words, or even your intellect, it's your silence? 2,000 years ago, the Roman Emperor, Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Today we're resurrecting that ancient wisdom, because right now someone out there wants to see you rattled. They're waiting for you to flinch, to panic, to lose control. But what if you could turn their games into ash, without uttering a single word? Let's begin. Welcome to Quotes and Relax 95. This isn't a video about intimidation, this is about mastery. For centuries, Stoics understood that true power isn't loud, it's invisible, unshakable. It's the quiet confidence that makes others question every move they make against you. Think about it. When someone tries to provoke you and you respond with eerie calm, what does that do to them? It unravels them, because they realize they can't control you. They can't predict you. And that is terrifying. In the next 16 minutes, you'll learn how to weaponize stillness, how to project an aura that commands respect and, yes, strikes fear into those who underestimate you. No threats, no drama, just the art of Stoic presence. Let's dive in. Lesson 1. Master the Stoic Stance. Your body speaks long before your lips part, revealing more than words ever could. The ancients understood this well. Roman generals, Spartan warriors, and samurai alike mastered the art of presence. Stand as if the ground itself has claimed you. Feet firmly planted, a silent testament to your resolve. Shoulders drawn back, not with arrogance but with certainty. Chin level, gaze steady, exuding the quiet power of one who cannot be shaken. This isn't mere aesthetics, it's strategy. Imagine a Roman soldier on the battlefield. His shield doesn't just deflect blows, it sends a message before the enemy ever strikes. I will not yield. It is the stance of an immovable force, a declaration of will. And today, whether you stand in a boardroom, a crowded subway, or alone before a mirror, your posture still broadcasts your inner state. Do you slouch under the weight of self-doubt? Or do you stand like a monument to your own unshakable strength? Try it. At the bus stop, in an interview, when facing confrontation. Feel the shift, not just in how others perceive you, but in how you perceive yourself. Confidence isn't always spoken. Often it's simply held. Lesson 2. The nuclear power of silence. Silence isn't surrender, it's a weapon, a deliberate act of defiance. When insulted, most people ignite like dry tinder, reacting with anger, defensiveness, or wounded pride. But what happens when you don't? Imagine this. A cutting remark slices through the air, aimed at you like a dagger. Instead of retaliating, you inhale slowly. Steady your gaze and say nothing. The weight of your silence unsettles them. The room shifts. The air thickens. Their words, once hurled with confidence, now echo awkwardly in the void you've created. Seneca, a man who understood power in restraint, once said, "To be silent is the strongest reply." And he was right. Words lose their power when they're met with indifference. Your silence forces them to wrestle with the emptiness of their own attack, to question their own strength. Who truly holds control? The one who lashes out, or the one who remains unmoved? Let them squirm. Let them feel the weight of their own words crashing back onto them. In that moment, your silence isn't absence, it's presence. A presence so commanding it speaks louder than any retort ever could. Lesson 3. Eye contact. The unblinking challenge. Your eyes are more than just windows to the soul. They are silent declarations of your inner strength. A steady gaze, unwavering yet devoid of aggression, speaks volumes before a single word is uttered. Have you ever locked eyes with someone and felt an unspoken challenge hanging in the air? In the wild, predators fix their stare upon prey, a piercing focus that signals dominance. But you are neither predator nor prey. You are something else entirely, an individual who sees the world without fear, without submission, without the need for unnecessary displays of dominance. Hold your gaze with quiet confidence, neither rigid nor forceful but resolute. When someone looks into your eyes, let them find no hesitation, no uncertainty, only a calm, collected presence that whispers, "I am here, I am aware, and I do not waver." How often do people break eye contact out of discomfort, revealing their inner turmoil? Averting your gaze too quickly sends an unspoken message of insecurity, a silent surrender before a battle has even begun. But not you. You remain still, observing, absorbing, unmoved. Feel the air between you and another person when you hold their gaze. Charged yet tranquil, assertive yet unthreatening. It is not a challenge, not a provocation, but a quiet statement of self-possession. In that moment, you become something rare. A person who does not flinch, who does not shrink, who meets life head-on with unwavering poise. Lesson 4. Emotional detachment. Here's the truth. Your enemies don't just want to hurt you, they crave your reaction. They feed off your anger, your fear, your frustration. The moment you lash out, you hand them exactly what they want: control over your emotions. But what if you refused? What if, instead of reacting, you remained still, unshaken, unmoved? Epictetus, a man who was born into slavery yet mastered his own mind, once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters." Think about that. You cannot dictate the actions of others, but you can dictate your response. The next time someone provokes you, whether it's an insult, a betrayal, or a calculated attempt to break your composure, pause. Imagine their words as smoke curling through the air. You see it, but you can't grasp it. It has no weight, no substance, no true power. And just as quickly as it appears, it fades, leaving nothing behind. When you refuse to engage, when you offer only silence or a calm, measured response, you do something far more powerful than fighting back. You deny them the satisfaction of seeing you falter. Your indifference becomes a weapon sharper than any insult. It lingers in their mind, unsettling, frustrating, haunting, because nothing unsettles the aggressive more than realizing they have no power over you. Lesson 5. Predictability is death. Routine is a double-edged sword. What brings you comfort can also be your greatest weakness. Think about it. If someone can predict your steps, they can control your path. If your enemies know where you'll be when you'll arrive and how you'll act, they don't need to outmatch you. They only need to wait. That's how predators hunt, isn't it? They study, they anticipate, and then, when the moment is right, they strike. Sun Tzu warned us, all warfare is based on deception. And war isn't just fought on battlefields, it plays out in boardrooms, in relationships, in everyday life. So, vary your patterns. Arrive before the world expects you. Leave when they assume you'll stay. Speak when silence is expected, and be silent when words are demanded. Move like the wind, unseen, untraceable, unknowable. Because when they can't pin down your rhythm, they can't control the game. Their assumptions turn to doubts, their confidence wavers, and suddenly they are the ones exposed. The unpredictable man is the one who remains untouchable. Lesson 6. Slow motion wins the war. Every rushed movement betrays an anxious mind. A tapping foot, a jittery hand, a hurried bite, each one whispers of inner turmoil. But have you ever noticed how true power exudes from those who move with purpose? Slow down. Eat deliberately, savoring each bite as if it were your last meal. Walk not as if you are chasing time, but as if time itself bends to your stride. Feel the earth beneath you, solid and unshaken, just as you should be. In feudal Japan, the samurai mastered this art, deliberately sheathing their swords with agonizing slowness, not out of hesitation, but to unsettle their foes. The message was clear: I do not fear you. Speed is instinctual, a creature's reaction to danger. But slowness? Slowness is mastery. It is the domain of those who have nothing to prove, those who own their presence. The next time your pulse urges you to rush, resist, pause, breathe. Let the world chase its tail while you move like a mountain, unshaken, immovable. Because in the end, control isn't in the one who hurries. It belongs to the one who refuses to. Lesson 7. The aura of mystery. Oversharing is a silent epidemic in the modern world, a self-inflicted wound disguised as connection. Social media tempts us to broadcast our every thought, past mistake, and fleeting emotion. But what do we gain from such exposure? The Stoics understood the power of restraint. They treated their inner lives as sacred ground, not a marketplace for public consumption. They spoke with intention, revealing little yet absorbing much. Imagine a man who shares his ambitions with everyone. What happens when he fails? He invites ridicule, doubt, and unsolicited advice from those who never had his best interests at heart. Contrast this with the individual who moves in silence, whose actions speak louder than his words. No one can sabotage what they cannot see. When people are left guessing about your past, your aspirations, and your vulnerabilities, they are left powerless against you. A veil of mystery magnifies your presence, making others lean in, intrigued, rather than step over you, indifferent. In a world where everyone is screaming for attention, the quiet, unreadable force commands the most respect. Lesson 8. Lead by example, not by noise. Actions always eclipse words. In a world where many shout their ambitions but few back them with effort, true power lies in silent mastery. Train relentlessly, not for applause but for dominance over yourself. Hone your skills with the discipline of a craftsman, perfecting every detail while the world remains unaware. Excellence does not need a stage. It commands attention without seeking it. When others fill the air with empty boasts, let your results be the thunder that follows their lightning. Marcus Aurelius, a man who ruled the vast Roman Empire, understood this truth intimately. He did not waste breath debating virtue. He lived it. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should. Be one. These words are not mere philosophy. They are a battle cry for those who refuse to be defined by rhetoric alone. Your competence is not just a skill, it is your unshakable reputation. And reputation, when built on undeniable proof, becomes impenetrable armor. In a world quick to judge and eager to undermine, your quiet strength becomes your greatest defense. Will you be the one who talks or the one they talk about? Lesson 9. Strategic indifference. The ultimate power play. When your enemies succeed, offer nothing, not a flicker of envy, not a shadow of concern. When they fail, remain even more unmoved, as if their downfall were as insignificant as a leaf, drifting to the ground in autumn. Indifference isn't passivity, it's power in its purest form. It is the silent proclamation that their existence holds no weight in your world. When you refuse to react, you strip them of the very thing they crave, your attention. Picture this. A narcissist, desperate for validation, revels in their triumph, expecting your resentment to feed their ego, but you give them nothing. No anger, no frustration, not even a glance of acknowledgement. To them, it's unbearable. Like a performer on stage met with silence instead of applause, their moment of glory turns hollow. And when they stumble, they expect your satisfaction, your schadenfreude, anything that proves they still occupy your mind. Yet you don't gloat, you don't smirk, you don't even notice. Because the ultimate power move is not revenge, it's indifference. When you act as if they are beneath your energy, beneath your notice, they cease to exist in your reality. And that is the kind of defeat they fear the most. Lesson 10. Cultivate unbreakable inner strength. Fear is a parasite that thrives on self-doubt, feeding on your hesitation, insecurities, and the stories you tell yourself about your limitations. So starve it, deprive it of its fuel, strengthen your mind as you would your body, through deliberate effort, through discipline. Meditate and watch your thoughts without judgment, like a seasoned warrior observing the battlefield before engaging. Lift weights not just to build muscle, but to forge resilience. Let every rep remind you that you are capable of pushing beyond perceived limits. Study philosophy, absorb the wisdom of those who faced chaos and emerged unshaken. The Stoics knew this truth well. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts, Marcus Aurelius wrote, a reminder that your mind is shaped by what you allow inside it. So, what thoughts are you feeding it? Doubt, weakness, fear, or strength, certainty, and courage? Build a fortress within, stone by stone, idea by idea, until no insult, no setback, no enemy can shake you. When you know your worth, Fear has no place to hide. Conclusion. Now I turn it over to you. Which of these lessons will you put into practice first? Have you ever silenced someone so completely that their only response was reflection? Share your story in the comments. I want to hear how you've used restraint as a weapon, wisdom as a shield. And if this resonated, subscribe. Because this channel isn't just about surviving life's battles. It's about mastering wars long before they begin. 2,000 years ago, a Stoic slave turned philosopher declared, "No man is free who is not master of himself." That truth still echoes today. So I leave you with this. What will your silence carve into history? Will it be a void of hesitation or a monument of strength? Will it leave people trembling in uncertainty or standing in awe? The choice is yours. Until next time, stay stoic.